Next up, we've got Omar, CEO, founder of WebinarNinja. He's going to talk about the Tokyo method on how to help you sell more on your webinars. For Omar!
Before I begin, I have a confession to make. I love Dan Martell. Raise your hand if you love Dan. Raise your hand. Hi. How did that happen? How did we all fall in love with Dan? But more importantly, how can you allow your customers to fall in love with you and your business? At WebinarNinja, we believe it's one word, and it's trust. And you've got to build trust to get more sales on your webinars. And this is what I want to show you in today's 10-minute tactic with WebinarNinja's Tokyo method. Let's begin with T. Okay, so T stands for topic. I'm just going to keep this open. Okay, your topic is your promise for your webinar. Okay, if I'm going to attend a webinar that's called How to Groom Your Persian Cat in 5 Minutes, you better believe I want to learn how to do that by the end of the webinar. If I can't fulfill my promise, do I build trust or break trust? So to build trust, you've got to make sure your topic is as specific as possible. The more specific, the more likely you'll be able to deliver on that promise. So the best way to find out how to come up with a topic is to think of the number one pain your customers are experiencing with your in your marketplace and how your product solves it. So for example, for WebinarNinja, our number one pain for our customers is that webinars are a headache and there's too many moving parts. So a good webinar topic for us is how to create all the aspects of your webinar in 5 minutes. Does that make sense? Okay, more specific, the better. O is for outline. Outline. Your outline is your lesson plan that drives your promise home. Now, Dan teaches a really great method. It's called three mic drop moments. Okay, and this basically means what are the 3 aspects of your product that delivers on your promise, that solves their problem in a unique way better than the competition. So for example, our 3 mic drop moments for WebinarNinja is that we have built-in landing pages, that we have email or reminders and notifications, and that it's got an automatic replay system. Now inside those 3 mic drop moments, you've got to make sure that you have 3 supporting reasons why that this is a mic drop moment. So for example, our landing page builder. Number 1, it's tested and made sure that it convert at a high rate. Number 2, that it's customizable. You can make it your own brand, your own images, your own logos. Number 3, cancel your lead pages account. It's a waste of money. Okay? So those are the 3 mic drop moments for that. Okay? Next. So, one more. Keynote. K is for keynote. Okay? Your keynote is your title slides. Okay? Is your actual presentation slides. Okay? So this is my formula for your keynote. Okay? And I'm going to give you a little gift later on how to build this. So the first thing is your title slide. This is the reminder, hey, this is the promise. This is why you're here. Number 2 is your transparent overview. This is the menu of what you're going to cover on your webinar. Make sure you have offer in there. If you're going to have an offer, say you're going to give an offer. Because if you don't, no one likes to be hoodwinked. Wait a minute, there's an offer all of a sudden? You want to build trust. Host slides. This is when you tell your origin story, your ups and your downs that led you to the point where you can deliver this product to them. Then your 3 mic drop moments. Then your transition, which Dan teaches in his winning webinar, which is all about like, hey, I just taught you something great. How would you like to do that in an easier way? That's when we jump into our offer. And then I prompt them with Q&A. This is the beauty of a live webinar. You can go back and forth, answer questions. And then I close again with an offer. More about the offer later. Okay, so we got T, O, K. And then Y stands for your engagement. Okay, your engagement. The more you engage, the more trust you build, the more sales you close. One more time. The more you engage, the more trust you build, the more sales you close. But engagement doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't just happen. You have to train your audience to be engaged. Okay? Now, I want to show you what I call the minute of power. This is my gift to you, and this is how you're going to start the first minute of every webinar to make sure you train them to be engaged. But before we do that, let's go back to high school. First day of school. You walk into the first period. And you go into Mr. Johnson's class. Mr. Johnson's just sitting at his desk, and he's waiting for the bell to ring. So what do you do as a student? You kind of look around, and you're like, well, I guess I'll sit here and wait until the bell rings and start talking to my friends. And then when the bell rings, Mr. Johnson goes, all right, guys, quiet down, simmer down, get a seat, sit down. Let's get started. In that moment, in that first day of school, in that first minute, you make a judgment. This class is a big joke. We're going to walk all over Mr. Johnson. This is not professional. Then you walk into the second period class, Miss McCormick. But before you even walk into the class, Miss McCormick greets you and says, hey, Michael, welcome to today's class. Here's your seat number. There's an assignment on the board. Get started on that before the bell rings. Can't wait to see what you come up with. In that moment, you're walking in, you're like, seat number, and I got a thing to do on the board. You have a different impression. All of a sudden, Miss McCormick's class is a real deal. I got to bring my A game. This is serious. This is not going to be a coast. And I want you to have the same impression in your first minute of the webinar. So when you walk into your webinar, they're like, whoa, this is different. This is not a snooze fest. This is actually well put together. So in your first minute, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to welcome them and put them on task. So I actually put this in the chat, and I also put it, like I say it on the webinar, the first thing. So I say, welcome to the webinar. Let me know where you're coming from, when you're tuning in from, and what would be a win for you today. Why did you sign up? Why? Because I want to know so I can deliver, so I can earn trust. And it gets them to do something easy so they can interact. Number 2, I greet with sincerity. A lot of people on webinars are just like, hey, John, hey, Joan, hey, Mary. Who's that? What is this, roll call? Ask them some questions. Hey, John, I see you're from New York. I used to live in the West Village. Where do you live? Number 1, I give them another softball question so they can engage with me again. Again, I'm training them to engage. Number 3, energy. Every webinar, Dan starts with a lot of energy. Why? Because Dan knows that positivity is something good. I want to associate positivity with my brand. No one wants a snooze fest. So make sure you bring in the energy. Even if you're an introvert, if you're like a 5 on the introvert scale, kick it up to 6 or 7, okay? A poll, run a poll at the start. A poll is a very easy way to engage with people. Even introverts can just, answer a poll, and it's a way for them to start feeling, okay, this is a professional setting, and that this is going to be different. Topic, outline, keynote, your engagement. O stands for offer. Okay. This is your offer. And I want to give you the offer flow. Okay? First thing is, you're going to tell them what they're going to get. What does your product give them? Including the support, including any money-back guarantee, including the bonuses. This is what you're going to get. Then, immediately after, you hit them with a success story. Here's a client of mine that has my product. This is the results they get. It's not enough for you only to say this is awesome. You got to get other people to say this is great too, and you got to show results. Then I tell them why they need to buy now, right? So urgency, whether it's time-bound, whether they're not going to get these bonuses, these special bonuses if they buy outside the webinar, whatever. You got to give them a reason to buy now. Number 4, sandwich again with a success story. Hit them over the head again with another reason why they have to buy. This is a great product. Look at this great result. Next, the investment. How much does this cost? Time, money, effort, and just state it like a fact. This costs $5,000, $50,000, whatever it is. You may need to rehearse this if you're not used to doing this. Number 6, again, another success story. And then I close with how to buy. A lot of people forget number 7. They just forget. Like, you got to give them a link, tell them where the button is. I even show them screenshots of the checkout process. Walk them by the hand. This is how you buy. This is what happens after you buy. You're going to get this amazing little surprise gift in your email box. Okay? At the end of your offer, you got to give them 3 choices. You got to say, here are your choices. Choice number 1, do nothing, get the same results. Choice number 2, go with my competitor and have all the headaches in the world because mine solves all the headaches. Number 3, go with my option, go with my product, get all your problems solved, save money, save time, love me forever. Give them the 3 options so they have to understand. You got to make a choice, which one you want. And then what I like to say is that if you follow this whole method, by the end of the webinar, the thing that's going to be guaranteed is that you're going to build trust. Because I like to close all webinars by saying, did you get a win today? Because they gave me that win in the beginning, like this would be a win for me today. And they all say yes, 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 yes. And in their head, they get a confirmation that this was an amazing value. And what I like to do is that, you're going to close a lot of sales, but what happens is sometimes it takes a couple webinars to close those sales. But you won't be able to get them back on your platform, get back on the webinar if you don't build that trust. So this is the Tokyo method. T's for topic, O's for outline, K's for keynote, Y's for your engagement. Cheated a little bit on this one, okay? O's for offer. As a gift from me to you, I have a template in both Keynote and PowerPoint format of the slides I just showed you. So you can just change your logos and your images and all that kind of stuff. And you just go to webinarninja.com/gift to get that. Thank you very much.